Hi, welcome to our Sports Picks. He's Drew Martin. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Monday, June 3rd, and this is the show that Drew and I do previewing the upcoming series in MLB. We're doing this Google Hangout style today, so there'll be no graphics. And Drew Martin, let's just get right into it. It is a pretty interesting time of year, right? Because it's before the All-Star break, and we, just like last year, we're seeing some teams make a stark reversal. The first thing I want to ask about, the main reason I'm asking about this is because I don't have a good answer for it, is Colorado, right? They're still, one of the top teams in baseball, still have a great record overall in all of their year-long stats. And even in June, they had a positive record, but they've lost 10 out of their last 11 games. Their offense statistically has been stalling out for a while. Now they're going to be at home against, Cincinnati, a team that has been, and also has some bad year-long records, but recently has started to win. And, they are still, again, minus 25% ROI overall on the road. Question is just, what is up with Colorado? Do you expect them to rebound at any time this year? And if so, what about these upcoming few series, and if so, what about this series against Cincinnati?
I think this series against Cincinnati is going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the pitching matchups as much, and you got to take into account the Colorado bullpen has really fallen off.
Yes.
So I don't know about this series, but I will say this: I mean, their offense and in having the chance to regroup, it's just kind of, in my mind, setting up for a great post All-Star run for Colorado. I mean, I like what their front office has done with the starting pitching and the relief pitching, as far as high strikeout guys, high ceiling guys pitching there in Colorado. So I think they're set up for success after the All-Star break. Do you feel the same?
So? I actually, I feel like I have somewhat of a good read on most of these teams. Colorado, I'm really not sure, because my numbers for them suggest that their offense has some serious issues that might not get solved. I mean, I know when Carlos Gonzalez comes back, that'll help. We'll see. I mean, again, Homer Bailey is starting on Tuesday, right? Are they going to be able to hit him? I mean, I can't believe we're talking about Colorado's offense like this, because in the beginning of the year it seemed like it was a strong offense. Now we're talking about, are they even going to be able to hit Homer Bailey at Coors? What do you think?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
Homer Bailey is one of the few pitchers this year. I feel like I've gotten a good read. I think a good record on him anyway so far. But I would bet on them to hit him. But tonight's matchup, what about Castillo? This guy hit 99 on the gun?
Yes. I have a lean to the under on that one, and I did bet it small. I'm just wondering about, on the Thursday, they're facing this guy Stevenson, who's off of a great AAA start, but I think that he, his career numbers are not good, both in the majors and the minors, or at least not promising. So, that's another starting pitcher that seems pretty vulnerable, and I'm wondering if they're going to be able to hit Stevenson on Thursday.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. And what about Gray coming?
Yeah,
he's been back, and
that's what I'm
for
saying.
The Colorado side.
If you look at the pitching matchups here, it looks pretty nice for Colorado. But you think that they're going to be able to turn around their offensive fortunes in the series? What do you think?
I don't know about this series. That's a tough one to say.
It is.
Like him at home, but against Castillo, I'm not going to bet on him tonight. I'm actually surprised to see this number as high as it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
minus 160.
Well, plus. I hit it in the 160s when it opened. It dropped to plus 140 in the morning show. Now it's back up to 160.
Yeah,
really.
Minus 164.
Oh, minus 160. Yeah. Okay, so it's back up a little bit. All right. Well, we'll see. I guess I'm going to give Colorado the benefit of the doubt for this series, but not if their lines are in the stratosphere and just way too high, as I thought the opening line was for tonight's game. All right. Then another series that's interesting to me, Drew Martin, is Houston against Atlanta. And as we know, Houston, the number one team in terms of ROI on the road. They've been very profitable this year, and most of it has come on the road, plus 46%. ROI on the road, and Atlanta actually was good in June, right? They had a very profitable June, plus 22% ROI in June, but just feels like a pen edge here for Houston, even though Atlanta's pen has been better recently, and a huge edge for Houston in terms of the lineup. Question is just how big of a favorite will they be? But do you think that they'll be good? There's only two games on Tuesday and Thursday. There's no Thursday games on Tuesday and Wednesday. You think Houston will be a good bet in these two games?
I do. I really do. I mean, you're going to have to lay it with them, obviously. But and you said Houston's a big surprise. Atlanta's a big surprise. I mean, 40 and 41 for the Braves. I would have lost a lot of money on that bet in the beginning of the season. So almost 500 there, second in the NL East. But yeah, I doubt I'd get involved in this. I just don't like laying high numbers, but at the same time, I'm not going against Houston.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we'll see what on Wednesday what the line is for McCullers against Garcia. It's going to be a big favorite line. The question is, how big will it be? Will it be minus 175 or will it be minus 205? We'll see. But I got to think that even at the high lines, Houston will have an edge here. They will be facing that guy Newcomb on Tuesday, and he's a guy who's been very impressive. He has great stuff, but he had control issues in the minors, and then for some reason he was able to fix them, at least so far in the majors. So he's been giving them awesome 6-inning starts, start in and start out. Again, though, Peacock also is another guy who gets his strikeouts but has control issues. So I'm thinking that just overall Houston again will probably have some value there, and definitely on the second half. But we'll see what those lines are. I'm thinking that Houston is going to be side with value there. What's caught your eye, Drew Martin, that you like to bring up?
All right, looking at this, an interesting tidbit here. New York Mets, Washington Nationals, obviously an NL East showdown here. Something, an interesting tidbit that I found that you don't really find that much in Major League Baseball is the Washington Nationals are going to go on, I believe it's 6 straight games playing a different start time. And for baseball players, as we know, they're routine guys. So if you're looking for an underdog, the Mets might be a good underdog, especially, all the Nationals bullpen issues.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that the Mets might the Mets were slightly positive in June. The Nationals were a double-digit negative team in June, and I'm thinking that the Mets also, we know that
Oh, Matty Ice is calling for us.
So we know that the Nationals have some serious bullpen issues, and I would give the Mets the edge right now. And based on my numbers, at least in the last month or so, the Mets have also had a lineup edge. So this juggernaut of a lineup that Washington has had, I would give the Mets a small edge in the lineup as well. My numbers might be wrong about that, but again, like we're seeing tonight, we're seeing a huge underdog line with Matt starting, and I would lean towards the Mets in this series if the lines are as off as the line on Monday night struck me.
Hey Pete, I got a question for you. How do you like this setup?
I think it's
doing it here instead of in the studio.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we don't have any graphics. That's the only issue. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't care about the setup particularly aside from graphics. I'm looking at the Mets matchups tomorrow on Tuesday. It's Lugo against Ross, and then on Wednesday it's DeGrom against Rourke. That was a starting pitching matchup that I was going to highlight. Obviously, the Mets are going to be a favorite in that one. How big of a favorite will they be? Because Rourke has been absolutely getting lit up, and DeGrom has been absolutely awesome. To him, man? I think he might have an injury. There's something wrong with him, but the Mets are going to be a big favorite in that game. Might not be a huge favorite on Wednesday. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely not on Wednesday because, like you've been saying, I was on Rourke early in the season and had a couple losses in a row. Have since jumped off and haven't paid too much attention to his last 2 starts. But yeah, not looking to bet on him. That's
all right.
Sure.
Well, my sense is that the Mets are probably going to be a little bit undervalued in that series. And then the next series that's interesting to me, Drew Martin, is pretty much
Toronto Yankees.
No, pretty much anytime that Cleveland fixes their anytime until we're getting a lot of distractions here. Okay, so people don't understand. They're just like you guys need to not have distractions when there's shows going. Yes, we do need to not have distractions when there's shows going. All right, so Cleveland, whenever they're at home, is pretty much going to be an interesting series until they solve their home issues. Despite their awesome bullpen and their lineup and Corey Kluber and everything, minus 26% ROI at home on the year. That is dead last in baseball. Now, if there's any team they can solve those problems with, maybe it's San Diego. San Diego minus 24% ROI on the road. Their bullpen has been excellent recently, but again, Cleveland has an excellent bullpen as well, and Cleveland has a huge lineup edge. Will Cleveland be a good bet this series at home, or again, a fade?
I bet on them. It's just a matter of if you want to lay it, and we can see it on Tuesday. It's already over $3 for Kluber versus Cahill. And you touched on it, Pete. And I mean, you can't stress it enough. You got San Diego's lineup versus Cleveland's lineup. Obviously, an advantage to the Indians. And on top of that, NL team at AL Park, the lineup construction issue that the Padres are going to face. This is got Indians route all over it.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, all right, here I'm going to take Cleveland at home. But then it's just, right, you have Cahill against Kluber. I was like, Kluber's going to be a massive favorite. I don't trust Cahill at all. But they'll want him to lay minus 300. Yeah. I don't know. And then you have Perdomo against Bauer. Perdomo has upside. And then Lamet against Tomlin. Lamet's off a great start. He has some serious upside.
I like that.
Tomlin's been very hit. So I don't know. Maybe once again, Cleveland will be overvalued at home, right?
Yeah, it's possible. It's just all you got to do if they're minus 300 the whole time is just pick the one game that they're a winner. I would love to find a sportsbook prop Cleveland to sweep though.
You could bet that yourself just by betting all by
True.
by betting the all your winnings on the next game to win. I don't know. I mean, it does feel like. It just feels like Cleveland has some mental issues at home, and then going up. It feels like they're going to lose either the Perdomo or the Lamet game.
Yeah, I feel the same. And we got Dylan chiming in. Even though he's coming off injury, Cahill has been really good this year. That is a good point.
Yeah.
The movement on his pitches, I'm always surprised with. I mean, he doesn't get a lot of credit for that.
All right, and then the only other series that I definitely want to ask about is Angels at Minnesota. Minnesota, another team that's been bad at home. That's a little bit more understandable. They have some serious bullpen issues going on right now, and the Angels have been a profitable team on the road, plus 9%. They were also the second most profitable team overall in baseball in June. They had a great June. Minnesota was modestly positive as well in June, but I'm thinking that the Angels might get a nice lineup boost here playing in this stadium, and they'll definitely have a big bullpen edge. And I'm thinking that the Angels might be undervalued in this series. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. And it looks like the series price, at least at bookmakers, plus 125, so minus 145 for Minnesota. So if you like that, I mean, you can find it. Find that at a plus price.
I think the Angels to win 2 out of 3 at a plus price here has some value because tonight they're a small underdog and I like them tonight. Then tomorrow we have Ramirez against Gibson. Both starting pitchers can get hit, so I think that's a wash there. And then on Wednesday it's Bridwell against Santana. Santana coming off a bad start, he might bounce back, but he might not. And, Bridwell, I see Bridwell as nothing great, but also not too terrible. So I see the starting pitching on Wednesday is also roughly a wash, and maybe the Angels should have some value here as an underdog, both in their individual games and on their series price. All right, Drew Martin, before we get to some of the starting pitching matchups that I want to highlight, are there any other series that have caught your eye that you'd like to share with us?
We got Toronto, New York Yankees, AL East matchup. Pretty big one there. I guess Toronto not having the year they would have liked, but we get CC Sabathia returning.
Right.
What do you think? Bet on, fade?
My sense is that I'm going to want to bet the Yankees in this series. I think that Toronto's offense is stalled out, and that's kind of real. And I think the Yankees' offense is stalled out. I think that's a little bit illusory. And I'm guessing that just like tonight, because it's going to be Happ against Sabathia, we'll get a very, very small home favorite line for the Yankees, minus 110, something like that, minus 112. And I kind of like the Yankees tonight as a small favorite. Kind of going to like them tomorrow with Sabathia. Do you have a line there for the Yankees tomorrow?
Open minus 113.
Right, exactly. There you go. There you go. Nailed that. You see, you look at my computer screen here. I don't have any lines up here, Duane. I didn't check any. Okay. And then on Wednesday, what is the pitching? Yeah, it's Estrada against Pineda. Again, Estrada's been very, very hittable recently, having some serious issues. Pineda is shaky, but not too bad. So again, I'm thinking that this is a series where I'm going to be liking the Yankees. When I look at the starting pitching matchups, I think I'm liking it even more than at my than at first glance. Yeah, I think I'm definitely liking. Do you disagree there?
No, I like them. Toronto, I think that they're going to be in sell mode here soon. So I like the Yankees, especially going into All-Star break.
Yeah, I like the Yankees in this series. Right. Anything else you want to bring up before we highlight the individual pitching matchups?
Let me see here. Bring up the notes. Nope, we're good.
Okay, all right. So just some of the pitching matchups that I wanted to highlight here. Happ and Sabathia was one that I did want to. And then Archer against Lester. That's an interesting one on Tuesday in Tampa Bay Cubs. I think if the Rays are a decent dog, it might be worth a shot. I would guess Tampa Bay would be like plus 115. What are they?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Everett brought this one up too. It looks like the Cubs are minus 140.
Okay, right. Wow. Okay, yeah. So I would think that I think that probably Tampa Bay should be a little bit less of a dog there. So I would in the plus 120s, I would probably lean Tampa Bay there. And then another one that I'm circling is Tyon against Leiter. I think I got to be liking Pitt here at least Pitt on the first half.
I like Tyon a lot. I agree with you, Pete.
And Leiter has been, his last start. I think he still got his. I'm trying to remember. He's just kind of like he's gotten, I think, better results so far in his brief time in the starting rotation than I think we'll see from him going forward. So I'd like Pitt tomorrow, and at least on the first 5, if not the full game. And then another one, Kane against Fulmer. It is Matt Kane might be an auto fade here, and Fulmer's been better recently. Question is, how big of a favorite will Detroit be? They're going to be a big favorite. If it was minus,
what are you setting it at?
I'm guessing that the market will open them at like minus 180.
I was surprised by this line because I would have said about the same, 170, 180, and it's up to as high as 215 now.
Yeah, wow.
I'm telling you, man, the all-star baseball, it's they're onto it.
All right, at that line, I don't think I could take it. And then on Wednesday, the starting pitching matchup I want to highlight, definitely DeGrom against Rourke. If the Mets aren't too big of a favorite, too huge of a favorite, I'll be taking DeGrom. But if I open the opening lines, I see Mets minus 230. What am I going to do then? I don't know.
Yeah, we got still 2 games to go. So tonight's and tomorrow's, and depending on bullpen usage. But
yeah.
I would right now forecast DeGrom being about minus 120.
Wait, what? Really?
Maybe
that low of a favorite
on the road against the better.
You think the Mets are going to be minus 120, minus 130? I'm guessing at least minus 150.
Okay,
but I might be totally wrong.
No, you could be totally right.
If it's minus 120, minus 130, I'll be all over the Mets there.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Yes, we will see. We will see. And then, let's see. And then the other Wednesday starting pitching match that I want to highlight is the White Sox in Oakland, Pelfrey against Gray. If you remember, Drew Martin, at a certain point, the White Sox started limiting Pelfrey's pitch counts in his starts because as he, got through the third time in the lineup, he started to get hit. And I made the prediction that pretty soon he was going to start to get hit in the first and second time through the lineup as well. And that appears to might have happened already, Drew Martin. And he might be just cooked for the year, Pelfrey. We'll see if he can make some adjustments or improve it all. But he's going to be going at Oakland, and Oakland's going to be starting Gray, who's starting to pitch better and better as he's getting more work in. The White Sox, as we know, are bad against righties, so I'm thinking that that might be a nice spot to take Oakland on Wednesday, Pelfrey against Gray. What do you think?
Yeah, I like Gray for sure.
Okay, and then on Thursday, not that many matchups from the current matchups that we're seeing, but in the Miami-St. Louis game, it's Kohler against Waka, and Kohler's obviously been getting crushed. I don't think that surprised anyone since he returned to the starting rotation. And Waka's actually starting to pitch better now. We know that Miami's lineup is stalled out, and what do you think? Do you think they're going to be able to find some new magic in this series, or continue to struggle? Because they are going to continue to struggle. Probably they'll struggle against Waka on Thursday.
Yeah, and Miami's one of those teams. The lineup, and as we know, they take money every night or every game. So if you're going to be betting them, bet on them early. And I would actually look to bet the Marlins.
All right, that's about it for me as far as starting pitching matchups. I definitely wanted to highlight Drew Martin. Is there anything else you want to bring to our attention, or should we wrap this up?
Just double thinking about DeGrom, and I think you're right. He probably will be at least minus 140 in my opinion. So I think I was off.
Well, you might not be off because look, I'll tell you. I mean, pretty much every single start that Bartolo Colon has made. If you'd asked me what's the other line aside going to be, I would have said, it's going to be at least minus 150 or minus 160. But no, a lot of minus 120s, 130s. I mean, I think in retrospect, the market was just wrong about it. So it's entirely possible that Washington at home, despite the fact that Rourke has struggled, the problem is just that when you have a starting pitcher like DeGrom who's been so awesome, start in and start out, they start to command a big favorite.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm wait, DeGrom, he has been good. And the market does like that. So I was off.
The market also doesn't like to make a Washington a big home underdog. So we will see where that line opens and where it gets bet. But for sure, if it opens anywhere around minus 120, 130, I'm going to take the Mets. Or would I be wrong to do that?
No, I think you would be very good. Right?
All right. So just quickly to sum up, Angels in Minnesota. I'm thinking that the Angels might have a nice edge in that series, and definitely would like them at plus 125. Just to win 2 out of the 3 of those games. Cleveland at home against San Diego. I don't know, man. Kluber minus 300. I'm going to have to look into that more. I don't know what I think about that one as of right now. Houston and Atlanta. I'm leaning Houston, especially on Wednesday. We'll see what the line is for McCullers. That's going to be a big line. I'm hoping it's like minus 170.
I can see that.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's not minus 200. Cincinnati, Colorado. We shall see. Can Colorado hit Homer Bailey on Tuesday and Stevenson on Thursday? Yes. We shall see.
At least Homer Bailey. You got to give him Homer Bailey.
Right. And then starting pitching matchups, I'm definitely going to be leaning towards the Yankees in this series. Sabathia against Happ. Fulmer against Kane. I want to take that one. And oh wait, what did you say the line was again? You said it was the Fulmer line. Was like
minus 1. Oh, you're right. It was minus 215.
I don't know about that. Definitely going to be looking to bet on Tyon against Leiter on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we'll see what the line is. DeGrom and Rourke. Definitely going to be looking to take the Yankees again with Pineda and Estrada. Hopefully the Oakland line won't be too high, and if not, I'm going to look to take them against White Sox. And then on Thursday, maybe look for Wacha to have another good start against Miami. Drew Martin.
I agree. We got a couple comments. We got to just hit on. What's up, Joe Everett? What's up, Jim Bean? Yeah, I agree with you. Bailey has been trash.
Yes, absolutely. But Colorado has not been productive offensively. According to my numbers, they have one of the worst offenses in the league over the past park adjusted numbers over the past month or so. So I'm not sure if that's going to be if they're going to be able to hit Bailey. We will certainly see. And, of course, I'll be back tomorrow morning with the live show at 10:30 Eastern time where, I'll make some final decisions on this and make a final decision whether I want to take the Colorado team total over or something. They got to hit Bailey, right?
I think so.
Jesus Christ. All right. Tune in tomorrow, and we'll be back on Thursday for the upcoming weekend series this weekend.